Not sure if you can read this sign or not because of the sun, but apparently someone thinks Franklin's going to spring back up. Sign is thanks students to Cedar Heights Junior High in Kent, Washington for all the hard work restoring Franklin. Franklin is becoming more popular than ever. Sounds like a sales pitch to me. The next sign, thanking some Eagle Scouts, Boy Scouts, what have you, for working on the project, and then also points to the cemetery, which is where we're going next. I'm trying to find the air shaft in the area of excavation. It's kind of difficult since it's grown over for 25-30 years. Here's a picture in the book Smoke to Mist of a foundation / wall, which I actually show in the video. It turns out it must have been some sort of retaining wall with a slab or patio, and then there was a house behind it. But I just thought it was kind of cool that that was in the book. It looks completely different now, as you'll see from the video. Those trees that we're looking at aren't there. I don't know if they got cut down, fell down, or died. But here's an obviously man-made foundation. I believe this is one of the areas they excavated. It's really hard to tell. Last time I was here was about 35 years ago. Blackberries have won out the war. I hope the wind's not making this audio too bad, but this is one of the old dynamited entrances. It's sad because all the blackberries are covering up where you can see there was obviously the hand of man. So I'll pan around slowly, and you can see directly opposite are some of the foundations of whatever they were, workings that they loaded the coal into, and maybe the guard shacks and all that kind of stuff. You can kind of in the background there see iron sticking up. I think they did some excavating here too. And just as in some of the other pictures, this is the abutment for some of the works outside one of the mouths of the mine, which would be to our left in that photograph. I'm not sure who the lady is, probably one of the archaeologist's favorite students perhaps. But you can clearly see the metal sticking up just like in the video I'll show you, except those trees aren't there. And it's covered in blackberries. And I'm a little bit closer up than they were, but you can see how big those foundations were. They're probably some sort of, oh, who knows, some sort of base. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I'm going to check my map when I get home, but pretty sure these are part of the abutments for this end, which is the west end of the bridge that crosses that gorge that they tried to build about the turn of the century. And we're just right around the area. They buried cable from the old works. Pretty exciting stuff. I think if a guy had the time, he could probably find quite a bit of old iron up here. I had to promise not to dig for anything, so I won't. Anyhow, interesting. I've been tripping over this stuff all the way up here. Okay, this is the air shaft. It's a pretty big hole that goes a long ways down, and if you look close, you can see the cross members underneath the small round iron are railroad rails that were from the original works up here, and they just laid them across as part of the protection. I thought I'd show you this feature just for fun of it. It's probably one of the more exciting things up here, which really isn't much because the darn blackberries have covered up the majority of what I wanted to video. If I was taking this class in the spring, late winter, it'd be a little more exciting. Here's an interesting feature. An old tramway for the coal cars. Wonder how many watches and coins we could find down below here. There's that tramway from a different angle. It's probably good, I don't know, 25. A little more of the trestle, just in case this is a better view than the previous view. Kind of get an idea of the level of technology back in the day. There's another one of the stands. Here's a piece of material evidence, an iron or I guess it looks like an iron pipe that runs back into the hill. Not sure what the purpose was. This looks like a possible work shed, or I don't know, lunch shack or something was here. Can't really tell from the video, but it's pretty clear on foot that there was some sort of human action here. And I'm looking at what may have been some chimney or wall stones from construction of whatever was here. I think the Green River team may have done a little digging here. I'm going by dead reckoning and a little bit of intuition. Try to figure it out. I didn't bring my GPS, and they didn't offer those coordinates back then. But clearly you can see the escarpment behind. It's pretty steep. And what it actually is we're walking up to a closed up mine entrance. Just a little further archaeological proof that humans did some changing to the environment here. This ivy is not indigenous to this area. It's introduced, and it's pretty much all over this hillside. You can clearly see the hand of man was involved here. This little berm, it's obviously dug out. And this is a reverse view of where I said that work shack was. You can see the tramway in the background there. I think this is where they did the Green River team did some digging, as I mentioned before. Doesn't look like much, just a bunch of woods, but if you walk out here, it looks like the metal detector and a shovel, you could probably find some junk, maybe some treasure. Here's a secret little, I don't know, cave-like area at the mouth to what was once the actual mine opening, one of the openings. You can go in there, I'm not. Here's the actual hillside. You can see there's quite a few, sorry about the shaking, try my best, quite a few boulders. It looks like they were actually placed. Maybe they dynamited and they came in with machinery and placed the stones. But you can't get the scope of it, but it's pretty straight up and down. Once you get past these maple trees here behind there, straight up and down. These guys did some digging.